All right. So I'm actually going to make the cool veggie pizza. I think you've seen this one before, haven't you, Suzanne?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay. It was actually a recipe that one of the recipes that was out about 30 years ago when I originally started, or 25 years ago when I originally started. And even being vegetarian, I looked at it and I was like, this sounds a little odd. I don't know if I'm going to like this. It is like the best recipe ever. I love this recipe. It's real light. It's great for the summertime because you're not having to heat up your oven for too long.
Mm-hmm.
So I just pre-bake the crust and then you just put the toppings on it. So it's really easy to make. It's great for appetizer. It's great for a meal. It's great for lunch. And you can even, once you make it and you store it in the fridge, you can eat it cold out of the fridge. So it's not something that you have to eat right away. And it keeps for a couple of days. So it's actually really good to make. And let me show you real quick how I did this. So I made it in our bar pan, large bar pan. I didn't want it to dry out, so I covered it up. But you just roll out the crust. And I used the stone pizza roller. And I love it because it's got two size rollers. So you can actually roll your doughs out right in the pie plates or the deep dish plates. So you don't have to transfer your dough. So I was just easily able to roll it out in the pan. And if you ever have a pie press you need to prick, it has the little prick fork that attaches to it. So you can just prick the crust as you go. So this is one of those things too that you can get on the replacement parts order form. So if you ever lose this piece, you can get it replaced. And of course, this is dishwasher safe.
Cool.
So one of the things, I actually had a lady that bought this to, she does art and wallpapering and things like that. And she bought this so that she could help smooth out her wallpaper. So you can also use it for crafts and things like that. And then of course the bar pan is the stoneware. This is actually the newer version. If you look on the bottom of the new version, you can see that crisscross design. And this will tell you that the newer stoneware is dishwasher safe and broiler safe, whereas the other ones in the past were not. So these you can throw in the dishwasher. It will take a little bit of your seasoning off if you do that, or it might take a little longer to season the stone. I haven't used this one too often yet, so it's not very well seasoned. But as you know, it gets darker and darker the more you cook on it, the more you bake on it. But the bar pan is probably one of my favorite pieces because I can do, of course, the pizzas in here. You can do jelly roll cakes. You can do bar cookies and bar desserts. I do, like I said, pizzas in here, tater tots, French fries, pretty much anything you can bake on a baking dish, you can use on stoneware. Mm-hmm. So the best part is the results of what you're baking, they don't burn on the bottom. So I used to have a really hard time years ago when I lived at the vet clinic that I managed. The oven, everything would burn. Like the bottoms of my biscuits would burn, the bottoms of my cookies would burn. It was so frustrating. And so when my ex-mother-in-law came to visit, she said, "Will you do a pampered chef party for me?" And my first response was like, in my mind was like, I do not want to do this. Because I didn't really do a whole lot of cooking. And I was like, I don't think I will buy any of this stuff. And so she came. I was probably one of the worst hosts ever because I think I might have invited 2 people.
Oh no.
Yeah, those 2 people came. So I was in attendance. But she did her little demo, and I'm telling you, I was on the edge of my seat the whole time because really the catalog does not do it justice. When you see it in action, it's so much better. The stoneware is what impressed me the most, and the chopper. And then I love the apple peeler for a slicer. So by the time she got done with the demo, I was like, oh, I need all of this stuff. But of course, at the time, we had just got married. We didn't make a lot of money. And so there's no way I could afford it all. She said, well, sign up. And I was like, I don't think I could do that. She goes, no, just sign up for a little while, get the free stuff. I was like, okay, I think I can do that. So that's why I ended up getting involved in Pampered Chef, so I could get my stoneware and my chopper for free. Mm-hmm. So that's how my career started. Mm-hmm. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're actually gonna make some mayonnaise because the mayonnaise is gonna go in the spread on top of the pizza. It's just like a little bit, but I wanted to show you guys the new product that we came out with in the spring. This is the multi-flex tool. It has different attachments. So it's a 3-in-1 tool. You've got the immersion blender. You have the mixer, and the mixer comes with either the beaters for whipped cream or for your doughs, like cookie doughs and things like that. And then it also has this nifty food processor. So you can also process your food. It comes with 2 extra blades, so you can grate with it or you can slice with it. I keep the covers on these because, as Suzanna knows, I'm very klutzy. So it's never a good idea with open blades for me.
They're pretty sharp.
Go ahead.
They're very sharp.
They are very sharp.
Yep.
They are. It also comes with a charger and 2 battery packs so that you can charge it. And they only take about 30 minutes to charge. So you can do all your holiday baking. And so we're going to use the immersion blender today. I'm going to attach it to the top part here. And then the battery pack goes right down here. And then let me get my egg out. So I wanted to keep that cold. It also comes with this cup so that you can make your mayonnaise. It has a lid. And then you can also make peanut butter in here. So it's a lot of options that you can do. All right, so we have the egg in here, and then we're going to add the other ingredients, and you're just basically going to stack the ingredients. Next thing is our lemon juice. So I'm going to take half a lemon here and squeeze out some lemon juice. Let me move this out of my way so I don't put it on the floor. One of the, this is one of the items from the knife set that we have. Very, very professional knives. They're weighted so that you have that great, you know, what's it called, ergonomics. And so this one, and then we also have the color-coded knives. And so we have 2 options for you with the knives. And then this is our citrus press. You're going to take the fruit, cut it, and put the cut side down. Actually, let me squeeze it in here so I can measure out my tablespoon. Now let's see if I can do this without making a mess. Not too bad. I was always told that if you're a messy cook, you're a good cook. So I try to be really messy. And of course, it catches the seeds and the pulp in there too. So that is our citrus press. And then the measuring cup that I'm using here is the Easy Read measure cups. This one is an item that you can order by itself. It's the smallest one. It goes up to 4 tablespoons, has mLs, it has ounces, and it has cups. And these are also microwave safe and dishwasher safe. The thing I like about it is the reasons they're easy read is you can set it on the counter and put your ingredient in, and you can actually see the measurement as it goes up. So you're not having to lean over and hold the thing up, and makes it really easy. So that comes as a single one. And then we have a set of 3 of the larger ones. So this is the vegetable oil that I measured out. It's avocado oil. It's a very mild flavored oil that is great for mayonnaise. And then we have the 4-cup size and the 2-cup size. By the way, Megan, if you have any questions, just feel free to unmute and let me know if you have questions as we go.
Will do.
Thanks. All right, so now we need some Dijon mustard. I'm going to do a teaspoon. And then we, the set I'm using is the teaspoon set, the measuring spoon set. They clip together for storage. Oh, see, I told you I was messy.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure I don't need to measure that out anymore, but
Every mustard container does that.
I did it earlier and it didn't do it, so I was like, oh, I'm safe. Yeah. It would wait until I'm live. I mean, I guess that's a good thing about Pampered Chef is they'll hire anybody. So.
Jeez.
Oh, goodness. All right. Clean up my little mustard mess here. All right, and then I think we got salt next. So we're gonna add some salt. Yeah, if you notice, I don't know if you guys can see that, but the spoons are flat on the bottom so that you can set it on the countertop and it sits flat for you. And you can measure while you're still out that way. All right, and then the last thing is the oil. So the oil is actually what you want floating on top when you start using the immersion blender. There's a lock button that's at the bottom. You're going to click that there, turn it upside down. And then there's some buttons up here. This is the on button, and then you can increase the speed with the plus or the minus button. I think I turned it off. How quick that is?
That is awesome. Never made mayonnaise before. That's great.
I never made it until I got this little contraption. And I thought, well, this is really cool. I probably could have halved this recipe because it's just me here. So I didn't think about it when I was measuring it out. All right, and I believe it calls for, I'll look at the other recipe, sorry. 1.5 teaspoons, okay. So I could probably just steal some from there. Stay. All right. So we are, you see how thick that is? I mean, it's like real mayonnaise. It's nice and thick. So, all right, this is the small batter bowl. Comes with the lid. These are also microwave safe and they're oven safe. So you can bake with these in the oven at 350 degrees. One thing you don't want to do though is you don't want to use something like an immersion blender or a beater because it can scar the glass on the inside and then over time wear it down. So when it hits the heat, it could potentially break. So use them mainly for mixing and measuring. It's got the measurements on the side, 4 cups on this one, ounces and mLs on the other side. It's all embossed, it's not colored. So that way your measurements don't rub off over time. All right, so we're gonna do 1.5 teaspoons of this. I could just, all right. All right. So if you're not a big mayonnaise fan, there's such a small amount in here that it's really not going to add a lot of mayonnaise flavor. I'm going to put this in the fridge so it stays cold. Mix that up. And in here already, I have some cream cheese that I let soften to room temperature. Mix that up. All right, another favorites of mine are the scrapers that we have. So this one is called the classic scraper. It's the typical flat scraper. And then this is the small mix and scraper and the large mix and scraper. It's more like a spoon spatula. They're flexible enough to get and scrape everything out of your bowls, but they're firm enough so that if you have thick batters or thick doughs, you can easily get them out. They also have the skinny scraper. So these four are my favorite and most used scrapers. We also have some little mini ones. So if you have smaller jobs that you need, you can use those as well. I don't use those quite as often. I tend to like the bigger things that fit in my hand better. So these are my favorites.
You can use those in heat, correct?
Yes. Yes, these are heat resistant up to 650 degrees.
Mhm.
They don't melt. They don't get that staining or the burning on them. If they get a little stained, usually by the next day, the color is out and they're white again. I've never really had an issue with them staining. So if you're worried about it, if you see, like sometimes when I make stuff with pumpkin, it'll stain it orange. But like I said, once I wash it or put it in the dishwasher, it'll have a little bit of discoloration, but then by the next day, it's magically gone. It's the weirdest thing ever. You can put it out in the sunlight, and that makes it even whiter. So if you ever have an issue where you're worried about it staining, just put it out in the sunlight after you wash it, and it helps turn it white again.
Cool.
Like the magic scraper. And then the other part that I like about this is the handle and the top are fused together. So it's not one of those where the top can come off, which also means that you don't get food particles and water going up in there, causing mold and mildew and all sorts of yucky stuff. If you've ever had the other type of spatulas where the head comes off, pull the head off one day and take a look at what's under there. It's pretty gross. So you won't have that issue with these. And then we need some dill. This is the Pampered Chef dill mix. Pretty sure it's a tablespoon we need. Yeah. We have so many different seasonings now. You can pretty much find just about any type of seasoning in our line. Lots of barbecue type seasonings and rubs. One of my favorites is the Southwestern seasoning. The seasoned salt. I use those a lot. A lot of people like the garlic rubs.
I like the 3 onion.
I actually haven't had the 3 onion yet. I need to try that one. Make sure I have everything in there. Yep. All right, and then we're going to just spread this on top of our pizza. I overbaked the crust just a hair, so it looks a little. Come on now. There we go. But once you get all this stuff on here, it kind of softens it a little bit. It never gets soggy though. That's what kind of surprised me, is that I've never had it get soggy. So I don't like soggy bread. So that when I first heard this recipe, I wasn't too sure about it. So I was thinking it would get kind of yucky and soggy on the bottom, but it doesn't. Just gonna spread that out. And then all you're gonna do is choose the vegetables that you prefer. I usually put broccoli, chopped up broccoli, tomato, a little bit of red bell pepper. I prefer red over the green. The green's a little strong for me. And one of my consultants was, she would put hard-boiled eggs on it. She would cut her eggs up and put it on there to add like a little bit of protein to it. I personally don't like eggs, so I don't usually add that kind of stuff to it. But everybody that, when I used to make it at my parties and add the egg, everybody raved about it. So, all right, so we got that spread out. Guess what I forgot to put in it? For some reason I thought there was garlic in here, but I guess not. Okay, never mind. I lied. I didn't forget it. I don't know. In my mind, it was supposed to have garlic in it, but I love garlic. Okay, so we got some veggies here lined up. I got a little bit of broccoli, some carrots, some mushrooms, got a little tomato, and a little bell pepper. So first thing I'm going to do is the mushrooms. And I like to slice my mushrooms up with the egg slicer. We call it the egg slicer plus. So you could do your hard-boiled eggs, obviously in here. You could do mushrooms, you could do strawberries and kiwi fruit. Now the kiwi fruit does have to be pretty ripe. You don't want it to be really hard because the wires are pretty thin. So make sure that it's good and ripe for you. Set the fruit or the mushroom on its side, and usually you will get a quicker, better slice with it. Y'all can see that.
Nice.
So. I wasn't lying when I said I was a mess up here cooking. Here. This is our one of our smaller sizes of the prep bowls. Couldn't think of the word. This is the 1 cup size, and they're just like the batter bowl, the same material. So they're microwave safe, they're oven safe. These you can even put in our quick cooker, or now the multi cooker. So if you wanted to do the dessert recipes, you could put them in here and put them in the multi cooker. They also have lids that come with them. That way you can store your items. So if you want to prep all your food or your ingredients ahead of time, I like to do that obviously for my demos because most of the stuff's kind of prepped and ready to go. But I also like to do it if I know that I'm going to have a busy week or a busy day and I'm not going to have time to do a lot of prepping. I'll prep everything when I have the time the night before. That way it's ready to go. And then all I have to do is get my bowls out, throw everything together, and I'm done. So it's really quick. So these are, again, they have measurements on the side, just like the batter bowl, and then they have the lids. So that's the 1 cup size. Then we have the 2 cup size, which I have the broccoli in. And I got the broccoli chopped up pretty fine. I used our food chopper for that. So the food chopper, you can pretty much chop anything and everything, any type of vegetable, fruit, nuts, chocolate, nutmeg, not nutmeg, cinnamon. What else? Ice. I mean, just pretty much anything you can. Oh, hard candies. I've done that before, and pretzels, cookies for cookie crusts. So you're gonna, you can either chop directly on your cutting board, or you can chop inside the cup that comes with it. Just put your food item in, and then you're gonna pound on the top. Now the key is to hit it and let the spring come all the way back up. A lot of people, when they first get it, they'll just go like this, and that's not gonna do anything. So get your frustrations out. And the more you hit it, the finer it chops. So if you want big chunky pieces, you just hit it a few times. So like you still have some chunkiness in there. And then if you want it really fine, like I have here, just keep chopping. For cleaning, it comes completely apart. So you never have to worry about mold or food getting trapped up in there. That piece slides off and then it opens up. These blades are very sharp. I think my 3rd Pampered Chef party that I did, I was chopping broccoli. A chunk got stuck in there because I filled the thing a little too full, and I was so new, I didn't know any better. So I went to take and get it out and slice my finger over the blade. Talk about embarrassing.
And painful.
The funny thing is none of the guests noticed it because when I did it, I immediately knew what I had done. And so I'm like, let me run to the kitchen really quick and clean this off. And so I go to the kitchen and I'm rinsing my hand and I'm cleaning it off. And I wasn't going to use it anymore, obviously, because I'd already prepped all my stuff. But the host comes in and she starts screaming, oh my God, you cut your finger. And I'm like, thanks for telling everybody. So I'm telling y'all, if I didn't quit after the first couple shows, that was rough. I used to be so shy. I hated talking in front of people. So some broccoli on there, and then some of this. And obviously pile as much on as you guys want when you make this. So, and then to add some color to it, we're going to do some carrots. Here is the 3-cup prep bowl. These are great for leftovers, by the way, too. I use these a lot for my leftovers. And the fact that they're microwave stuff, safe, I can just take them out and put them directly in the microwave.
Mhm.
All right, so I got to show you all this because this is probably one of my most favorite products ever. Did you get this, Suzanna?
I did not. I hate to say that I had something similar already.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, I think I saw, I think I did see one not too long ago that looked almost like ours. So you're gonna, okay. So on the back side, in case Meg is not familiar with it, you have 2 knobs. So you can do slices and you can set however thick or thin you want it by setting this knob right here. You can do the thick fries, thinner fries, and then also julienne. So I'm going to do the carrots in more of a julienne style and then sprinkle those over top. You could also just chop your carrots, but it gives me a reason to show this.
Okay.
Because I love this thing. So you're going to put the cup thing underneath it like that. And then there in the front, you'll see it has a blade guard. So you're just going to push that down. The one thing I love about this is that your fingers will never come in contact with the blade. Whereas the other slicers that we have, even though there's a food holder, there's still always that chance you could,
Yep.
touch it in the drawer or whatever. Let's see, this piece next. And there's a button here you pull up and that holds this in place. And then this is where you stick the food. So I'm just going to throw some baby carrots in here. I love playing around with this thing because one thing I did find is that tomatoes don't do so great in it. I think maybe if they were firmer, I always mix this up this way. All right, then this unlocks, and then we're just going to press lightly here. Oops. Sorry, I forgot to change my setting. I'm going to put it at about a 1.5, I think is what I did before. All right. It's not doing what I want it to do. There we go. Just took a second to spit out the other ones that I had. I love doing the French fries in the air fryer. I pop them out in this and then I put them in the basket in the air fryer with a little bit of oil. And they come out so nice.
I bet they do.
All right, so there's our carrots. And you know what? Let's see. We can do the bell pepper in here too. Y'all. Now we could have also put these in that food processor, part of the multi-tool there.
Mm-hmm.
So we have lots of options for prepping. All right.
Have you done cheese in any of them, Kelly?
Yes. Yes, I've done cheese in this one.
Okay.
I've not done it in that. I don't know if you can do it on that one, to be honest with you. I haven't tried it. So, but I don't see why, yeah. So, and have you seen the new, they came back out with the handheld graders too. Have you
Yes,
seen those?
yes.
Yeah. So
I
they
have
have,
one of those. Mhm.
huh?
I have one of those, but I do like to buy the blocks of cheese instead
That's
of
all I bought. Yeah,
buy 'em. Yeah, I don't like them already done. They've too many other things in them.
exactly. One of them being wood.
Oh, no, that's not good.
Yeah, it's the cellulose is like a sawdust. Keeps it
Yes.
from sticking.
Mhm.
Plus the preservatives and things that they have in there. So yeah, I prefer to do my own.
We
And
had just seen we had just seen a video about that, how there's other stuff in the already sliced or shredded cheeses. So now we are only allowed to buy the block cheese and shred it and slice it.
yeah, I mean, and it's cheaper too, if you really think about it. It's a
Yes.
whole lot cheaper than buying the pre-grated cheese.
Yep.
So let's see. All right, our quick slice. Now, the quick slice, you can do a lot of things like you can with the egg slicer only. With this one, you could do tomatoes, a lot of your fruits. The bell pepper would be another good one to do on here. Eggs. The thickness, though, is a lot thicker than it would be with the egg slicer. So I usually prefer to do the egg slicer for those smaller things like the strawberries and the mushrooms and stuff. The quick slice, for the tomato, make sure it's a firm tomato, otherwise it just kind of squishes. With this one, I actually cut the end off and took the seeds out a little bit because I don't want a bunch of seeds on here. So you're going to set that there and you're going to set it over top. Of course, without the seeds in it, it might be a little squishy. There we go. And then you got some nice slices. So actually, I think I want these a little bit smaller. Might slice these up a little bit more. All right, we'll see if this works. Might end up with a mush. Oh, that's not too bad. Actually worked really well.
Could you do an onion in that, or is the onion too hard?
I honestly have not done onions on this. I usually slice them on my other slicers. I know you can't do potatoes on it because the potatoes are too hard. I honestly would have to look up the onion and find out if you can do onion on there. Have you done it, Suzanna? Do you have this piece?
I don't.
Okay.
I have the food chopper and I use that for onions.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely use that for onions.
Yeah.
This would make really thick slices if you did your onion on here. I can't imagine why you couldn't though. I mean, the blades are pretty thick. They're not like wires or anything.
Yeah.
So I don't see why you wouldn't be able to do an onion on there.
I always thought that would be a great idea for young parents when they're starting their children on table food for like hot dogs. I mean, what kid doesn't eat a hot dog?
Yeah, that would be perfect for
And
this.
it would
You're
keep
right.
them from being the choking size.
You can also do, well, I know you can do the mozzarella cheeses on here. The block cheese may be a little bit too hard, but that softer ball mozzarella cheese works great on here.
Cool.
So Megan, I'll have to test that out for you with the onion because now you may be curious. I'm thinking that you can, but I don't want to tell you the wrong thing and then you get it and it not work properly. So.
Oh, I'm horrible with cutting onions
Uh-huh.
and tomatoes. Those are the two things that I like have a hard time with. So the tomato did well in there, so I didn't know if you could use the onion too.
Yeah, I'm getting the other slicer. You could.
We have that.
You do have this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Have you done your onions in this before?
No, I have not done my onions on that. I hadn't thought about it.
Yeah, I do a lot of the things like that don't slice well in the mandolin, the new mandolin that we have, which is not very many things, but because that shoot is a little bit smaller. If I have an onion, I put it in there, just cut the onion in half and just have half slices. But the other one is really good for tomatoes. And of course, all the other things like the bell peppers and the onions and stuff like that. So lots of variety when it comes to the slicing and dicing. All right. what else did I want to show y'all? I think that was it as far as the veggies were concerned. Oh, no, the green onion. And then I use my kitchen shears to snip those. It comes with a carrying case. These come apart for easy cleaning. And then all I do is I just take and snip right over top of whatever I'm doing. We also have the, there's another set of kitchen shears that we have. I find these to be a bit stronger. And I feel like I can handle them better than the other ones. The other ones are smaller.
Do you mean the ones like they use for in the salad bowl for chopping chicken or whatever?
Oh, no, that one is the salad chopper. Those are really good too. I don't use those for these, but I guess you could. You would just have to do it in the bowl, probably.
Yeah.
Probably put all the vegetables in there at one time and do it. But no, we used to have a, or we have a smaller version of the kitchen shears.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Is this one? Can you see that?
Yeah.
And it clips together right here for storage.
Oh, wow.
So I have those as well. I just, for some reason, find that this one is a little bit stronger, so I can cut bigger and thicker things with it. I try to do that with this one, and accidentally my blades got a little further apart than they should. So now I can only use it for certain types of things to slice with. But that was my fault because I was cutting the wrong thing with it. All right. So I think that's all I wanted to put on here as far as ingredients are concerned. And then the did want to show you guys something new that we came out with is the oil and vinegar dispensers. You put your oil or vinegar in the bottom. It unscrews on the bottom so you can fill it. Has a lid up top here that you can take off. And I don't know if you can see, but there's measurements on the side of this little cup up here. And there's a spout in here where it pulls up a small amount of oil or vinegar so that you can measure it instead of having to dirty up a separate measuring spoon. So if you're, you know, if you have a recipe that calls for a tablespoon of oil, you just squeeze the sides in like that. Now see how it's filling up?
Yeah, that's cool.
And then if I wanted a tablespoon, I would just fill it up to the tablespoon. And then I can pour that into whatever I'm using. And the great thing is once you pour it, it doesn't pour anything out of the bottom. So it's not adding extra to it as you're pouring. So I got one for oil and then I have another one for vinegar that I use for my vinegar. So these are really cool addition to have. The only thing you can't put in here is that new garlic Parmesan oil because it's got the really thick chunks of Parmesan in here. So obviously you would not be able to put anything in there that has different types of seasoning or anything like that in it. But if you love Parmesan and you love garlic, you're gonna wanna get this oil. And then we also have the basil infused oil. Now the basil infused, since it doesn't have anything chunky in it, that can go in there if you want to. So great for salads. And the garlic Parmesan is good for dipping breads, you know, with the Italian bread and dipping. Oh, it's so good. I love it. And then right before I baked my crust, I used the kitchen spritzer. So again, it has a fill line for the oil. You just pump it. And then once you pump it and it gets kind of hard, it doesn't pump anymore. Then you could just spray it out and it kind of looks like a, what are those, like Joy or Pam spray cans? Only it's oil so that it doesn't cause that sticky residue on your cookware or your stoneware.
Right.
Plus it's a lot healthier because again, it doesn't have the furthest. I don't know if you guys can see. I'm going to try to pull this up, and but I don't know. Can you see how fine that mist is?
Mm-hmm.
So, love this thing.
I have it. I love it too.
Yeah. My one accidentally got clogged one time, and I just took some really hot water and I soaked it for a little while, and then I spritzed the water through it, and it was fine after that. So if you ever get one that gets a little clogged, just wash it out really good and then do the hot water. You can add a little soap in there, but just make sure you keep rinsing it so the soap doesn't get trapped in the top.
Yep.
So, okie dokie. What else? Oh, the special for the month. When you purchase $80 in product, you can either pick the corn or the kernel. What's the name of it? The kernel cutter. Kernel cutter. I always want to say corn cutter, and I know it's not right every time, and then I mess myself up. So the kernel cutter. So when you have your corn, you can just cut it right off the cob, and it just slices beautifully off there. There's a little clip on here to keep your fingers protected. That's the one thing I like about our products is we have protective sleeves on everything, but it has a little jagged, sharp edge here, and then you can just take that and just scoop your corn right off of the cob. So if you don't like eating corn on the cob, but you like the flavor of corn on the cob, to me it tastes different when it's baked or cooked on the corn on the cob.
Mhm.
But you can use that, or you can choose, if you already have that, you can choose the corn cob knobs. So you just put those in the ends of your corn, and when you put it in hot water, when you pull it out, then you have something to hold on to, so it keeps your hands from getting messy or burning.
Wow.
So the last time I cooked corn on the cob, I have both of those products already. And I put the cob in one of the glass bowls from Pampered Chef and
Right.
used one of the knobs to be able to hold the corn because it was still hot. So I used it for that, and then used the other thing to get all the corn off. And I love that thing. It's super easy to use.
It is super easy. I mean, I had a lady when I lived out in the country, and I was managing that vet hospital. We had just come out with it, and she came in and she was talking about, oh, we got all this corn, we got to take off the cob. It's so awful. It's so horrible. And she's going on and on about it. And I said, you know what? I'm going to give you something I want you to try. And I let her have it. I said, just take it. And when you're done with it, bring it back. And she goes, are you sure? And I'm like, yeah. So she took it. She brought it back a couple of days later. And she goes, oh my God, we got that corn done so fast. I mean, they said that they normally spend days and days and days trying to get all the corn done. And she said within a matter of hours, they were able to just go right through it. So she ended up ordering a couple of those things, but they have been very popular. When people actually see them and use them, they're really popular. So I'm glad you have one. All right. I do want to tell y'all what the specials are for the next. Pull this up here real quick, just make sure. Okay, so the host specials for June. When you host a party, of course, you get the free, the half price, the discount. And then we also have what we call a host special, where you can get 60% off select products. So for the month of June, it is the nonstick double burner grill press, the nonstick grill and press. So those are the two of our cookware pieces, very high-end, nice cookware pieces. Two of our rock stones, the indoor-outdoor grill, or the cast iron set, the small cast iron set. I mean, not the small, but the large one. I think it's the 12-inch and the 10-inch cast iron set. So those are the 60% off items. But the other great thing is that they're doing the double point month for June. So when your sales reach 650 in guest sales, then you actually get double the amount of free product. So normally it would be $115 in free product that you can choose. This month it would be $230, and then it climbs at each level. So that's a big plus right there with the doubling. And then for July, the host special is you can pick anything from the catalog that you want at 60% off. So you get to pick and choose on that one. So a lot of people like to choose the multi-cooker or the flex set, the multi-flex set, the air fryer, but you can pick anything from the catalog. But in addition to that, they're also offering an extra $25 in free product. So you get your normal free product amount, you'll get the extra $25 that you can pick anything from the catalog, plus you get your 60% off choice, which would be anything from the catalog. And then you still get to pick out your 50% off items. So a lot of big bonuses for hosts both months. And then if Suzanna gets 3 bookings from her party, she will be able to pick a 40% off item from each party that is booked from hers. So that means you'll get guaranteed sales. And then with the 3 bookings, she will also earn $50 in more free product once the third party is held. So by you booking a party, not only are you helping yourself get free product and discounted items, but you're also helping Suzanna get even more items at discounts and for free. So it's kind of like a win-win for both of you. And then I do want to show you really quick the new multi-cooker. This is kind of our version of like a pressure cooker, like an Instapot type thing. But this one, it's a slow cooker. It's an Instapot type pressure cooker, and it's also a sous vide cooker. So, and then you can do rice and beans, and you could do yogurt now. So it actually has a yogurt setting.
Wow.
Some of the features that I like on this one better than the normal Instapot one is that the sides stay cool. They don't get hot, so you don't burn your hands or your arms when you touch it by accident. It has the grip handles underneath, so you can easily pick it up and transport it or carry it wherever you need to. The newest feature that they did was they put the steam release down here, and that's where the steam comes out. So it's no longer up here, even though the steam would go in the opposite direction. They made it better now, I think, because you can press it down here and not ever have to worry about your hand being near anything, splatter steam or any of that. So it's a really good safety feature there. When you twist the handle or the lid and you turn it back in the position, it'll actually make a little sound so that you know that the lid is sealed properly. But if you're not familiar with the sous vide cooking, almost all restaurants now, especially high-end restaurants, use that for their meat, especially their steaks. So you put it in a plastic bag. You can use just a regular Ziploc bag. I personally don't like using Ziploc bags. I just have a real fetish about not using them for stuff like that. So Pampered Chef also came out with the silicone storage bags. And this is a really good one to use for the sous vide cooking. You put your meat in here or your veggies, depending on whatever you're doing. And you press it and seal it. Make sure you get all the air out so that it's sitting down in the water. And then when you set it down into the pot with the water, you're going to put the lid on, and then you're going to put it on the sous vide setting, and it will cook that a really long time. I can't even remember. It's like hours and hours and hours. So you would think it would be so overdone, but what it does is it seals all the moisture into the meat itself. So when it comes out, it kind of looks, it's edible at that point, but it kind of looks pale. So what you're going to do is you're just going to take it and sear it on both sides in a pan and get that nice searing, that nice look to it. But everybody that has used the sous vide cooking loves it for meats because it keeps the meats juicy and tender, and you never get those dried out meats again. Plus you can do the sous vide part and store it in the fridge and then cook those things up whenever you're ready to eat your dinner. You just throw it on on the pan or the grill or whatever you're doing, just to kind of reheat it and then get that searing on there. So this to me is like a really good item to choose because it's got so many different features. And I was honestly terrified of the whole idea of Instapot type cooking. So it took me years to even think about using one. And when I signed up to do Pampered Chef and I got the quick cooker, I think it took me almost a year to use it. I don't know why I was terrified of it. I just, for some reason, had this thing that it was going to explode on me. And of course it doesn't, it's very safe, but I don't know. I just imagine this thing exploding. So anyway, the first time I used it, I made something really simple. I think it was spaghetti. Yeah, it was spaghetti. And everybody's like, that's actually a hard recipe to make in there because it doesn't always turn out. I'm like, it turned out just fine. I was easy. I just dumped the ingredients in there I shut it. I walked away, did all my dog stuff that I needed to do. I came back, opened it up, and it was like maybe, I don't know, 5-6 minutes, and it was done. And I came back and I mixed it all together and I ate. It was great. So I love it. But yeah, so this is the new multi-cooker. So that would be something that you could get in July if you host it as one of your 60% off items, if you don't like the June special. But that's oh, and what I meant to mention on this one, in this month, if you sign up to be a consultant, we have 3 different kits you can choose from just to start your business. But this month we have a special kit that's only $49. And then we have one that's $99, one that's $159, and one that's $269. With the $269 kit, I can post this later so you can see all the products that come with it. But you can also pick one of the higher priced items, the Flex, the air fryer, and what was the other one? I think the blender. Yeah, the blender. You can pick from one of those 3 items as your item for the kit. So they don't choose it for you anymore. You get to choose that big item, which is great. Yeah. And it's like, I don't know, the kit, like I said, is only $269 or $279, but you're getting well over $1,400 worth of products in it. But for the month of June, if you sign up, no matter what kit you choose, whether it's the $49 kit or the biggest one, you have your first 30 days when you qualify, you can get this free. So that's another big plus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just wanted to mention that in case either one of you were planning on doing that. And you can, let me know if you have any questions about it. I can go over the more details with you on that. But lots, like I said, lots of good specials for hosts and for new consultants when you sign up. So that's it. You guys have any questions about anything or a particular product you have a question about that maybe I didn't show tonight?
Megan, do you?
No, not that I can think of.
Okay. I thought she ran away, Megan. I was like, oh, she ran away.
No, I've been here. I'm watching all of it. I do like the bags that you had shown. Yeah, those. They come in different sizes.
Yes, that's just like a snack pack size. Mm-hmm. And then this one's like a sandwich version, so you can slide your sandwich in there. And then a medium storage bag. And then, of course, the large one. So, and obviously you can use these without the sous vide cooker. So I actually was going to get some of these at Target, and I kept waiting and waiting. So like Pampered Chef has to come out with something like this because I didn't want to buy them and then Pampered Chef come out with them. So I'm glad I waited because they finally came out with them. I ended up ordering 2 sets. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
And all those come in one set?
Yes, these all come in one set.
Okay.
Yep. And then I don't know if you saw the new little strainer thing.
A spider thing. That's nice.
Yeah, spider strainer. Yep. So you can scoop out fried foods from your oil or from your pot foods from your pot. So I thought that was pretty cool. They finally came out with one of these. So they got this now too. And then if you haven't tried, I don't know if any of you are gluten-free, but if you know anybody that's gluten-free, we have the brownie mix and we have the chocolate chip cookie mix now that's gluten-free, soy-free. You can make them dairy-free. So the recipe on the back shows you either way. And then the one is nut-free as well. So, which is really good for me because nuts I'm okay with, but I can't do all the other stuff. So, and they're really good. Like I've tried other packaged and they're not nearly as good. These are like, they don't even taste gluten-free.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe somebody that normally eats gluten would taste the difference. I don't know, but everybody so far that's had them said they liked them. So have you had them, Suzanna?
I have, and I don't notice a difference.
Okay.
I don't. So
yeah, I didn't notice the difference either. I know one lady that and she's not a gluten-free person. She said she noticed a little difference, but she said they were still good. So, and then of course we now have a dulce de leche cake.
Oh yeah, that's good.
This thing is awesome, isn't it?
Very good.
free, but I had to try it. I'm like, oh, well.
Yeah, my husband fell in love with that.
It's really good. Did you put a topping on it or did you just eat it plain?
I personally use some like whipped cream cheese on it,
Oh, yeah.
but Barry likes it just plain.
Yeah, I liked it plain. I thought it was really good plain. It had a lot of flavor to it.
Mhm.
I saw one recipe where you can poke holes in it, and drizzle, I think it was caramel that they put on it.
That's a good
So I
idea.
thought, well, that would actually be really good too. And then add some ice cream to that. Damn,
Oh,
that'd be
yeah.
so good.
Oh, yeah.
That would be really good. Now
Yeah.
I'm hungry. Megan, anything else that you can think of that, trying to think if there's, oh, wait, I forgot. Did you see the new summer products that just came out?
No, actually, I have not.
Oh my gosh. So they have a garden vegetable dip mix. So if you need a good dip mix, I actually tried this the other day. It's really good. It's not overwhelming. Yeah, it's not overly salty. So I don't like really salty foods, especially dips. So that's a new dip that we came out with. They came out with a cherry lemonade and a cucumber mojito mix. They're like little packets, and you can either make them with alcohol or without alcohol, but they come in these little packets, just mixed packets. These are just for the summer. So as soon as they run out of these will be gone. But this is the one I'm most excited about. And actually, as a consultant, I was able to earn all of this for free. So we have months where they'll offer us incentives and we can earn our products for free. So if you like cast iron, you're going to love this. It's like a fajita cast iron pan.
Oh,
Oh.
that's cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So you can either put it on the grill or put it in the oven or put it on your stovetop or a combination of all three if you need to.
Yeah.
Obviously, it has that nice flat surface with just a little bit of a lip so that you can cook your meats and vegetables on here. And then they have the board, the trivet board to set it on.
It's pretty.
That's nice.
So, and of course, you could obviously use that trivet for anything else, but I thought this was a gorgeous set. I was really excited to get this one.
Yeah.
I love vegetables that are either grilled or kind of like the fajita flavoring when you cook them. So I'm looking forward to making some veggies on this thing, but this is really nice.
Cool.
So that's our new summer products that just came out. So almost forgot to show you guys those. I love them.
Mhm.
All right.
Well, thank you, Kelly.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you having the party. And we will, like I said, I'll take the recording, and once I get it uploaded on YouTube, I'll post it into the party.
Okay.
And that way everybody, if they want to view it, they can view it. And then of course they can obviously still just use the link to order. We'll just, I'll put in the party some of the products that I used tonight as well. I'll post some of those this week, and then we'll post a deadline for the
Okay.
end of the week. Does that
Okay.
work?
That's good. Yep.
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
Well, I appreciate it. If you guys think of anything else, just message me or put it on the party, and we'll or in the event page, and I'll answer them there.
Okay.
And thank you so much.
Thanks again, Kelly.
Thank you attending.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good night, you guys.
You too. Thanks.
Thanks.